Do you know how Social Security invests the money that we all pay into it? Well, Davis Garrison III from Preservation Financial is here to discuss a glitch or hidden weakness in Social Security. Good afternoon, Davis, or good morning, Davis. How are you doing?
I'm well, Chris, and yourself?
I'm doing really well. Let's talk about this topic of how Social Security invests the money that we put into it.
It's an intriguing but kind of disconcerting situation. But Market Watch, August 18th of this year, authored by Brenton Smith, says that Social Security is, and I apologize for reading a lot, but there's a lot of detail in this that I want to get to your viewers. Social Security is squandering billions of dollars through a hidden weakness in how it invests the funds. And we just really can't afford this, because if you go to the Social Security website online, it will state that in 2034, if Congress does not take action before that, benefits will have to be reduced by 25%. Now, if that won't get your attention, I don't know what will.
I started to say, anytime you talk about a reduction of a quarter of whatever you're invested in, if you're talking about a reduction in a quarter, that is a big chunk of money.
We're talking serious here.
Yeah.
And the COVID-19 pandemic just underscores the importance of the Social Security in the lives of Americans. And what the pandemic has done just automatically is that it's enhanced the glitch that we find in the Social Security system. And the problem is, because the Federal Reserve has lowered interest rates on the 10, 15, 30-year treasuries, they're not paying anything. You go to the bank, open a savings account, you're not going to be credited with anything whatsoever. And there's a name for what is going on, or what is attempted to happen here, and it's called arbitrage. I think the majority of us have probably heard of that in passing, if nothing else. And via the dictionary definition of it, it is an investment technique that purchases and sells securities at the same time in order to profit from the price fluctuations. And it goes on to say, in parentheses, to gain a riskless profit. That's the key to it.
Right.
It's riskless if it's done correctly. And if you go to usdebtclock.org, we've discussed this a lot of times. Mm-hmm. I've got it pulled up right now. Social Security and Medicare are the two biggest expenditures of our country. It's not defense. Defense is small time in regards to Medicare and Social Security. Combined, they come up to about $42 trillion in unfunded liabilities. That means that the money is not there.
Right.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Now, I was going to say, if somebody, we talk about Social Security being that blanket protection that we all think about having in our golden years, but it's really, it's kind of on a precarious balance right now of whether it's going to be there or not, isn't it?
It really is. And the whole point of this article is that regardless of the pandemic, the way the system was set up, using arbitrage, a riskless form of profit. We've got the greatest minds in our country in Washington, D.C. And if they can't figure out, how to accomplish this, a positive arbitrage as opposed to a negative arbitrage, we're sunk.
I want to thank Davis for taking some time talking with Social Security with us, and we'll be picking back up that discussion about Social Security, the Social Security system, with Davis next Friday. And if you are looking at starting your retirement plan, or you're looking at making changes in your plan that you have already set up for your golden years, then make sure to give Davis a call at Preservation Financial, and we have that number and all the information you need right there on the screen.
The preceding portion of Daytime Tri-Cities was sponsored by